They don't listen to other people. They have an agenda, and they silence anyone that conflicts with that agenda.
They don't understand it. They just do what they want.
A school board member's sole responsibility is to listen to the community. They're supposed to be civil servants working for the community. The town boasts an ideology of tribe pride. The tribe mentality was adopted from the local school mascot, an American Indian, or politely, a Native American. The schools have plenty of capacity and the playgrounds are often empty. Enrollments are listed as stable, yet projections from the district study list them as growing nearly 15% in 5 years. The actual recorded growth is far less. The aging community has many on fixed incomes. They are the ones being silenced and oppressed. The local school board is taxing them to extinction. With each financial burden, many are deciding medicine or move. Tax increases over a silenced population is taxation without representation. The oppressed see the future and are voting with their feet. Can you blame them? Just listen to this board member. I have a couple other questions for you. Do you have a minute afterwards?
No, I don't today.
You won't take a minute?
I have other issues besides listening to everyone else.
Do you have a copy of the feasibility study yourself yet?
No, I don't.
Have you read any of it?
No, I didn't.
And look at the actions of this board member. The oppression is quite severe. Do what's best for the children? Do you think?
How about that, Nick? How's that work? How's that work for you? How's that work? How's it work? Put the camera away. Put it away. Put it away.
I'm recording in a public space. Here is what people are saying about the Lehighton School Board.
People who are in office who aren't performing their duties the way they're supposed to, and ignoring the taxpayer, ignoring the documents, choosing not to read it.
They don't listen to other people. They have an agenda, and they silence anyone that conflicts with that agenda.
They just went and built that school without any community participation. Nobody has a voice in this town.
It's disgusting by not letting people talk and disagreeing on what the people want. I'm actually ashamed to admit that I live in the community where it is led by such a dictatorship.
For speaking out, I've had my windows shot, I have my car keyed, I have my windows egged.
Well, I know from talking to a lot of people that people in town don't feel heard. And I think at the very least, if we have a vote, you could call it a referendum vote, and ask people what they really want to do.
There should have been a referendum vote to take care of all this money that they're using.
They just didn't listen.
The census shows the community is very white, nationally ranked, and not for diversity. It has ethnically changed from its original Native American heritage. Still remaining from that heritage is a town mascot and the name of the hospital. Both are eerie reminders of the infamous massacre here that left Moravian missionaries silenced by the native tribe. Present day, Lehighton has experienced a renewed lawlessness. The silencing of the people and a scheme to tax and build anything. It's almost as if it is a plan just to build a burden. The community elects a local school board with a sworn oath.
Swear or affirm.
Do solemnly swear or affirm.
That I will support, obey, and defend.
That I will support, obey, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
And Constitution of this Commonwealth.
And the Constitution of this Commonwealth.
And that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
And I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
Did you hear serve the people in that oath? No, neither did I. But within that oath are obligations to do so. The laws, like the Title I and the Taxpayer Relief Act, restricts the power of school districts to levy taxes and provides for a public referendum. The Sunshine Act obligates the government to deliberate in public meetings, allowing the people to have a voice, to have the floor in public meetings prior to a vote. With many speaking out contrary to the agenda, more oppressive tactics were employed. Watch as a newly elected board member offers the current board president, Larry Stern, the opportunity to yield the floor to the people. Larry, an experienced board member, is shown here dogmatically oppressing those people from speaking, silencing them. Let's hear what he has to say.
I'd like to yield the floor for Pennsylvania Sunshine Act number 710 to the citizens of this town. At your discretion, Mr. Stern.
You had your chance and you stated what your issue was with Mr. Ivan. There was no point in that we had discussed to include citizens in the voice of representing or unrepresenting an individual. So at this time, I'd like to call for a vote.
That sounds like a clear violation of the law, and here is a district solicitor giving his opinion on the matter to clarify the violation.
Prior to its execution of government by this board, those people have a right to speak.
You're right. The public has a right to. Very good.
Later, with the power of the gavel, Larry recessed the meeting, pulling the ball from the citizens, not unlike Lucy. However, all humor is lost when it's our grandparents in grief. These are not isolated events. On the contrary, for years, this board has found many ways to silence the people. With the people ignored, the board possesses near authoritarian power to rule over the community. With the solicitor's ruling to the contrary, Larry Stern has been provided an attorney to defend the action using district funds. Is he defending the privilege of silencing the people? These people? And these people? They say power corrupts. How about spending money taken from the community for education on this law firm to defend Larry Stern? Defending what? It was always expected elected board members would listen to the public. Why wouldn't they? School boards should rule as public servants, protecting the seniors in the community and embracing their wisdom, not silencing it. Such morality is common sense, if not common decency. The laws of our nation are clear. Listen to the people and host a referendum prior to adding more burdens onto them. It is the very intent of the law. For hundreds of years, American families have sacrificed their loved ones as they take up arms against the enemies of our nation, a nation conceived in liberty. With the risk of death, they take an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. It was through those sacrifices that citizens of these United States still have the freedom to petition our courts, seeking the justice of law, a peaceful reform. And here we have a group of bad characters. They chose to neglect their duty. They need to know the ends do not justify the means. To interfere with the education of our children, to neglect the law, to neglect their oath, to silence the people, are things not done by people of character. Actions like these dishonor the very servicemen and women that have taken an oath to defend our rights. The right to speak was earned by the blood spilled by our families and our forefathers. Silence is not the destiny of this nation so brought forth on this continent. Citizens have petitioned the courts to remove those that have neglected their duty as elected officials. To allow them to continue would be a dishonor to those who have served and their families. Let's stop the lawlessness. Let's stop the silence.
That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain. That this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom. And that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
You cannot silence truth.
Hello, my name is Robert Kistler. I am co-chair of the Carbon County chapter of the Pennsylvania Taxpayer Cyber Coalition, the organization of over 15,000 people dedicated to Senate Bill 76 and the Property Tax Elimination Act. The aging population of Lehighton and the state is really a direct result of our legislators' failure to act on age trend data. So what are the implications of this? Well, the big one is there's talk that our legislator is going to start taxing retirement income. That should fire you up.